Alright, welcome to another episode of Free Code Friday. My name is Jason Bach. This is episode 12. Always got to check. Yes, it is. Alright, episode 12. So, last time I started working on editor config generator, specifically working on the unit tests for some initial work that I did. Now, I want to broaden it a little bit and start being able to parse a whole syntax tree or compilation unit or whatever and find all instances of it so we can start broadening our scope. So to do that, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a walker. I'm going to call it Style Walker, for lack of a better name. Alright. Alright, so this, if I go look at the base class of this, the only things that you can see here are visit. Okay, so which is fine, but what this basically saying is take this node and visit as much that you have in your tree. Okay, so and because I'm inheriting from this, as you can see, you get a lot of visit methods internally. If I go to this, that's public as well. I guess, sorry, I'm babbling a little bit here. What I want to do is not really use this outside of the assembly. I'm probably going to have to now do the internals visible to thing for my tests, but I really don't want this to be used because it's going to be changing state a lot, and if you call it again, you might get, doubling your statistics or whatever. So I'm going to make this internal. Now say public. Actually, no, nobody else would be able to do it anyway. Style walker, the base. See, now there's we actually want to get down to the trivia, because maybe you don't care about going to the trivia, and that's why you have the option of just going to the nodes. Okay, but we want to go all the way to the trivia because, especially for like tabs and spaces, I know I'm eventually going to get to that point where I need to be able to see all the trivia, or at least some of it, in your code. So we're going to do that. Okay. All right. I need to do visit local declaration statement. Okay, and I am have to do the base. Now I'm going to have to keep track of a bunch of styles, and I've been thinking, do I keep an internal dictionary? How do I do this? For now, I can't make this read only because I'm going to be changing it as I do this, and this is maybe something with immutability that I change. I'm not sure. If I say, just grab the name from here. This is going to become really interesting because is that the name I'm going to want to use? Because I'm going to get a ton of these. There's going to be a lot of them as I start building this up. But come on. Yep, okay. So here, how much more easier could you get it? Because I mean, all I've done is say, well, all I've done is use the code that I already have, and you know, just update the style as I find them. Okay. Now, what I do want to do though is say, why haven't I gotten the equals? That should be like that style. Okay. And now I want see, now this is where the name gets a little weird because it's going to be so kind of big. But I do like that better. Alright, looks a little weird to me for some reason, but that'll work. So that will just say, hey, once you've done visiting, you should get the values. Now, to write a test for this, this is where it's going to get potentially a little messy. Potentially. Well, no, because in my test I should be concentrating on the things that I want to. So, really? That was an interesting one. Yeah. That's right. That's right. I'm being a little stupid. It's not a Sunday. It's a Friday night. It actually is a Friday night. And my brain is just not working right now. Can you actually do this? No, okay, so that one I gotta have to do because you can't, like a lot of these are, what am I trying to say? Well, these end up feeling like they're duplicates for some reason. I can't remember why. But let's do that again. Because the only thing I really care about is I just make it 1. I don't care. All I want is something to say assembly internals visible to editor. Well, look at that. See, this is the little thing that they added, and that's such a nice thing to do, to just give you that little bit of intel sense to say that's what you really want. Okay. No, I want to rename that. Thank you. Just build this just to make sure. Okay. So let's come here. Let's make our style walker tests. So my idea is to visit for that. Okay, so var walker is equal to new style walker visit. And now here is where I'm going to want to get the compilation unit. Kind of what I did with my tests last time. So this is going to be a little bit trickier. This is going to look a little weird. It looks weird because I'm trying to get it so that it formats correctly. This is literally the code that it's going to be doing. Public static foo. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is just about parsing. So, real code, never do this. Real code, we would just, we would actually do real stuff, for lack of a better term. But all I'm caring about is being able to look at this and say, can you find everything? Okay. So what's coming out of this is a compilation unit syntax. So let's actually be a little bit. Now I should be able to say var style walker dot. And if I come over here to my statistics, actually what I want is the data. I don't really care about the style. I know that's the style. That's what I want. Okay, so the total occurrences should be 1. This was a 1, 0. Now, I'm not trying to test, is it going to, well, actually, we want to, I'm thinking this is the right thing to do. Var foo, type foo. So actually what I should have are 2 occurrences, 1 of each. I'm surprised that worked. That just worked right out of the gate, which is pretty nice. Now, as I do this more, this might get awfully big because there's going to be tons of styles. So the naming might get to be potentially a little ridiculous, but it's going to be pretty, compact, because the intent is that the style is responsible for, finding that, or being, saying, hey, this is the thing you need to give me. And as long as you give me that, I should be able to somehow go up and down, because with, nodes, like syntax nodes and stuff, you can say node dot, I think, parent. Yeah, so you can go up and down your tree. And again, I'm making all these assumptions that I think I know that if you have a local declaration, it's always somewhere down in this hierarchy. It's either going to have, if I go back to this, because I'm already forgetting, it's going to have somewhere down in there a variable declaration, and that should have an identifier name. Okay. I'm also assuming here that I'm only going to find one of each. So one of the things that I'm going to, again, eventually do is download a bunch of code from other projects and throw it at this, because I want to see if I'm going to find any bugs with my assumptions, and I would be surprised if I didn't. So that'll be good as kind of a stress test to say, hey, throw .NET Cores stuff at it. Again, I'm not trying to compile it. I'm not trying to necessarily, make it run on my machine or anything like that. I just want CS files that I can just say, hey, take this CS file, build it, and try to go through the walker with it and see if at least you don't fail. And we'll hopefully do more analysis than that. But this is a good step, because I now have another little piece of the puzzle, which is this style walker. And now I can give it, its visit method. I can just say, hey, take a compilation unit, and off you go. Now, my intent is that a style walker is going to be used for only one compilation unit. Okay, so if you're given a CS file, you would essentially pull all the text out of it, say parse compilation unit, and feed that into the method. And that you would do each file with a specific style walker. So I have to have a way to say for, as you have a way to basically aggregate all this stuff together. And I don't have that yet, but that's, how would I do that? How would I do that? I don't know if it makes sense to do it on this one. Though arguably it would be the right way to do it. What I'm debating is if I say like something like internal style walker, add style walker to it. I could say var walker is equal to new style walker, and then walker dot C# style equals, no, I'm being stupid, that's gonna be the new one. Yeah, whatever. It's equal to walker. No. This is equal to. See, I'm just not I don't know why, but I'm not thinking of this right. I'm assuming that this one's already done what it needs to do, and that I'm saying here's another one, and add the two together. The update here. The update here is for if I'm giving it the actual local declaration syntax. It's not saying aggregate it with well, I could say new, and then I take this C# data update from, and I'm just saying it's true. I need to aggregate the statistics together. These are doing it from the literal things, and that's not what I wanted to have done. So you know what, I'm just not feeling it anymore tonight. So this is probably, I have to do something like this. I have to do something that's going to take basically two of these walkers together, specifically their styles, and add their data together and come up, and have a new one. But the updates that I've built aren't geared to do that. I was hoping, I forgot all my API that I just wrote. I was hoping it would do the right thing, but it's not. It's just doesn't do that. So I'm going to have to figure out a different way to do this. But at least I got this, and this again sets the stage for me to. Okay, I gotta get that up. Okay, so I'm gonna have to play with this for a while, kind of figure out a good way to do that aggregation of that data, so that as I'm building more and more of these together, I get an overall value from all the different documents of all the different places that stuff was found. Though, no, I was thinking maybe I could say, hey, give it the, just keep reusing the style walker, keep calling visit on it with as many compilation units that you find, because then it will naturally just update, and that actually would work. But the problem is that I want to use as many cores as I can, and so my thought is the code that's going to be above the walker that's going to say, hey, you gave me a CS project file, or you gave me a CS file, or you gave me a solution file, or you gave me multiple solution files. I'm going to have to eventually go down and say, for all the CS files that you're finding, I'd like to do that in a different task, and use as many cores as I can from the person's machine. So I would have to then either make this thread safe, which I'd rather not, because I'd have to make sure that I'm not having two visitations or more happen at the same time. That could be bad. So don't want to do that. And I really don't want to start getting into synchronization around the walkers. I could, reuse them and say once one task is done with one file, then give that walker to the next one. So I'd have as many walkers as potentially as many cores. Do it that way, maximize it that way. I've done that with a different project of mine where I was doing evolutionary programming, and I launched as many tasks, but I limited it to as many cores as I read from the machine. But even then, I'm going to have n number of walkers at the end, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to just tell them all to add yourself together, and do it in somewhat of an efficient way. I'm already going with the immutability here. It's constantly making new objects all the time for these. They're short-lived and they're really not going to contain much of anything, but it's still happening, and I'd like to try to minimize that as much as I possibly can. So, but I'm babbling because I'm tired. So, made another small step. I think this is a good one, and next time I will continue to move on, and we'll hopefully get this so I can get to the point where we're giving it a whole solution and we're getting some values out. So thank you for watching. Got any questions or comments? Put them down in the comments section. So that's all for this episode. Hope you watch my next one. See you later.